Have you ever wondered what happens to your consciousness the moment your heart stops beating? What if everything you've been told about death is just the beginning of the most extraordinary journey your soul will ever take? Right now, as you watch this video, millions of people around the world are experiencing something that science cannot fully explain. Something that challenges everything we thought we knew about the end of life. You're about to discover the most closely guarded secrets of what truly happens when we die. These aren't theories or religious beliefs, but documented experiences from thousands of people who have crossed over to the other side and returned. To tell us what they saw, what they reveal will change how you think about death forever. But before we dive into these incredible revelations, I need you to do something important. Drop a comment right now and tell me, have you ever felt the presence of someone who has passed away? Have you experienced something unexplainable that made you question what happens after we leave this world? Your stories matter, and I personally read and respond to every single comment because your experiences help us understand this mystery together. The truth about death has been hidden from us for far too long. Medical professionals, scientists, and even religious leaders have only given us pieces of the puzzle. Today, you're getting the complete picture, and what you're about to learn will shock you to your core. Let me start with something that will make your skin crawl with anticipation. Did you know that your brain remains active for up to 20 minutes after your heart stops? 20 full minutes where something incredible is happening inside your mind. Something that could be the key to understanding the greatest mystery of human existence. Dr. Sam Parnia, a leading researcher in consciousness studies, has documented over 4,000 cases of people who were clinically dead and came back with memories that should be impossible. These aren't hallucinations or dreams. These are consistent, detailed accounts of experiences that happen when there is no measurable brain activity. But what exactly do these people see during those crucial 20 minutes? The first thing that happens when you die is something called the life review. Imagine every single moment of your life playing back in perfect detail, but not like watching a movie. You experience every emotion, every consequence of your actions, every impact you had on other people. You feel what they felt because of your words and actions. Sarah Martinez, a cardiac nurse from Phoenix, was declared clinically dead for 18 minutes after a massive heart attack. When she returned, she described seeing her entire life from the perspective of everyone she had ever interacted with. She felt the joy she brought to her children when she tucked them in at night. But she also experienced the pain her harsh words caused her husband during their worst arguments. This life review isn't a judgment from some external force. It's your own consciousness processing the complete truth of your existence. Every lie you told, every act of kindness, every moment of love or hatred becomes crystal clear. The fascinating part is that people report feeling no shame or guilt during this process, only understanding and profound love. What happens next will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about reality. After the life review, something remarkable occurs. You begin to move toward what many describe as the most beautiful light imaginable. But this isn't just any light. This is a presence that knows you completely, loves you unconditionally, and welcomes you with an intensity of emotion that human language cannot describe. Dr. Raymond Moody, who coined the term near-death experience, has interviewed over 3,000 people who have encountered this light. Regardless of their religious background, cultural upbringing, or personal beliefs, they all describe the same phenomenon. This light communicates without words, shares knowledge without teaching, and provides answers to questions they didn't even know they had. But here's where it gets truly mind-bending. Many people report meeting deceased relatives during this experience. But not just any relatives. They encounter family members they never knew existed, people who died before they were born, and somehow, they recognize them instantly. They receive information about family history that they later verify as completely accurate. Michael Thompson, a construction worker from Denver, met his great-grandfather during his near-death experience, a man who died 30 years before Michael was born. His great-grandfather showed him the location of a hidden family heirloom that had been lost for decades. When Michael recovered, he found the item exactly where his great-grandfather had indicated. Buried in the backyard of a house the family had sold years earlier. The reality of what happens next challenges everything science tells us about consciousness and identity. Once you've encountered the light and reunited with loved ones, you're given a choice that will determine your next phase of existence. This isn't about heaven or hell, as traditional religions describe them. This is about your soul's continuing evolution and the lessons you still need to learn. Many people report being shown different paths or levels of existence, each corresponding to their spiritual development and the work they still need to do. Some choose to return to Earth in a new life to complete unfinished business or learn specific lessons. Others move forward to serve as guides for souls still on their earthly journey. The most shocking revelation is that death isn't an ending at all, it's a graduation ceremony. Your consciousness, your true self, doesn't disappear when your body dies. Instead, it expands beyond the limitations of physical existence and begins to understand the interconnectedness of all life. Dr. Eben Alexander, a neurosurgeon who was skeptical of near-death experiences until he had one himself, describes consciousness as existing independent of the brain. During his own clinical death, his brain showed no activity for 7 days. Yet he experienced the most vivid and meaningful journey of his existence. What he discovered about the nature of consciousness will change everything you believe about life and death. Your consciousness isn't produced by your brain. It's filtered through your brain. Think of your brain as a radio receiver and consciousness as the signal. When the radio breaks, the signal doesn't disappear. It simply continues to exist beyond the limitations of that particular receiver. This explains why people can have incredibly detailed experiences when their brains show no activity. It explains how they can acquire information they couldn't have known and witness events happening in other locations while they were unconscious. But perhaps the most profound aspect of near-death experiences is what people learn about the purpose of life itself. They discover that every challenge, every relationship, every moment of joy and sorrow serves a specific purpose in their soul's development. Life isn't random. Every person you meet, every obstacle you face, every triumph and failure is precisely orchestrated to teach you something essential about love, compassion, forgiveness, and spiritual growth. From the other side, people can see the perfect design behind what often feels like chaos here on Earth. The implications of this knowledge are staggering, and what comes next will reshape your understanding of why you're alive right now. If this information is resonating with you, if you're feeling that deep recognition that this truth has been waiting inside you all along, I need you to hit that like button right now. This isn't just about supporting the channel, though I deeply appreciate that. When you like this video, you're telling the algorithm that this information matters, that people need to hear these truths, that we're ready to move beyond fear-based ideas about death. And please, subscribe and ring that notification bell, because what I'm sharing with you goes far deeper than just near-death experiences. I'm revealing the hidden connections between consciousness, reality, and the true purpose of human existence. These aren't just interesting stories, they're the keys to understanding who you really are and why you chose to be here at this exact moment in history. The people who have crossed over and returned bring back more than just descriptions of the afterlife. They return with specific messages about what's happening on Earth right now, why certain global events are unfolding, and what role each of us plays in humanity's spiritual evolution. The timing of these revelations isn't coincidental, and what they're trying to tell us about our current moment in history will leave you speechless. The souls who return from death bring urgent messages about our planet's current transformation. They describe Earth as being in the middle of a massive spiritual awakening, a shift in consciousness that happens only once every several thousand years. You're not just witnessing this transformation, you chose to be alive during this exact time period to participate in it. This isn't some mystical concept without evidence. The frequency of near-death experiences has increased dramatically over the past 50 years. Cardiac resuscitation techniques have improved, allowing more people to be brought back from clinical death. But that doesn't explain why their experiences are becoming more detailed, more consistent, and more urgent in their messaging. Dr. Kenneth Ring, Professor Emeritus of Psychology at the University of Connecticut, has documented a phenomenon he calls the escalation pattern. People who have near-death experiences today report receiving specific information about humanity's future, environmental changes, and the awakening of human consciousness that wasn't present in earlier documented cases. What these returned souls are revealing about the next 20 years will completely alter how you see current world events. They describe a period of intense change where old systems of control, manipulation, and separation will collapse to make way for new forms of human organization based on cooperation, transparency, and spiritual understanding. The chaos we're witnessing in politics, economics, and social structures isn't random upheaval. It's the necessary breakdown that precedes transformation. But here's what makes this absolutely mind-blowing. The souls on the other side can see the outcome of this transformation, and they're ecstatic about what's coming. They describe a world where human beings finally understand their true nature, as spiritual beings having a physical experience, where poverty and war become impossible because we recognize our fundamental interconnectedness. Maria Santos, a teacher from São Paulo who was clinically dead for 23 minutes, returned with detailed visions of cities designed around spiritual principles, technologies that work in harmony with natural laws, and human communities, where every person's unique gifts are valued and developed. She was shown that this isn't some distant utopian dream, but the natural result of the consciousness shift happening right now. The role you're meant to play in this transformation is more significant than you could ever imagine. Every person currently alive chose to be here during this pivotal moment. Your soul didn't randomly incarnate at this time. You specifically requested to participate in humanity's greatest evolutionary leap. The challenges you face, the people in your life, the circumstances you're navigating are all perfectly designed to prepare you for your part in this cosmic shift. This explains why so many people feel a deep sense of urgency, like time is speeding up, like something momentous is about to happen. That feeling isn't anxiety or stress. It's your soul recognizing that the moment you've been preparing for, across multiple lifetimes, is approaching. The returned souls explain that each person carries specific gifts, knowledge, and abilities that will be essential during the transition. Some are here to be healers, others to be teachers, inventors, artists, or leaders. But everyone, without exception, has a crucial role to play in creating the new paradigm. What they reveal about how to discover your soul's mission will change everything about how you approach your daily life. Your life circumstances aren't obstacles to overcome. They're training grounds for developing the exact qualities you'll need to fulfill your purpose. Every difficulty you've faced has been strengthening specific aspects of your character. Every talent you possess will be needed in the work ahead. The most important thing the returned souls emphasize is that this transformation isn't something that will happen to you. It's something you're actively creating through your thoughts, emotions, and actions right now. Every moment you choose love over fear, understanding over judgment, cooperation over competition. You're contributing to the shift in global consciousness. David Kim, a software engineer from Seoul who experienced clinical death during emergency surgery, returned with the understanding that consciousness itself is evolving. He describes human awareness expanding beyond individual concerns to encompass the welfare of all life on Earth. This isn't just personal growth, it's a species-wide upgrade in how we process reality. The techniques they share for accelerating your own consciousness expansion will unlock abilities you didn't know you possessed. The first technique is called conscious dying, and you don't need to physically die to practice it. Every night when you fall asleep, you're experiencing a mini-death as your consciousness separates from your physical body. By approaching sleep with intention and awareness, you can begin to explore the same realms that people visit during near-death experiences. Before sleep, set the intention to meet your spiritual guides, to receive guidance about your life purpose, or to visit the Akashic records where all knowledge is stored. Many people who practice this technique begin receiving profound insights, creative solutions to problems, and clear direction about their life path. The second technique involves understanding that every emotion you feel is actually information from your soul about your alignment with your true purpose. When you feel joy, excitement, or deep satisfaction, you're moving in the direction of your soul's mission. When you feel frustrated, angry, or depressed, you're receiving guidance to change course. This isn't about positive thinking or denying negative emotions. It's about recognizing that your emotional guidance system is far more sophisticated than you've been taught. Your soul is constantly communicating with you through your feelings, providing precise navigation toward your highest potential. The third technique reveals how to access the same expanded awareness that people experience during near-death experiences while fully conscious. Meditation isn't just relaxation or stress relief, it's consciousness training. When you learn to quiet your mind and expand your awareness beyond your physical body, you're developing the same abilities that allow souls to navigate non-physical dimensions. But the returned souls share a specific type of meditation that's far more powerful than traditional techniques. They call it unity consciousness meditation, where instead of focusing inward, you expand your awareness to include all life around you. You begin to feel the consciousness in plants, animals, and even seemingly inanimate objects. This technique allows you to directly experience what the near-death experiencers describe as the interconnectedness of all existence. You stop seeing yourself as separate from the world around you and begin to understand that you're an integral part of a vast, conscious, living universe. What happens when you begin practicing these techniques consistently will transform not just your life, but everyone around you. People who develop expanded consciousness become what the returned souls call Wei-showers. They don't need to preach or convince anyone of these truths because their presence alone begins to awaken others. Their energy field expands and begins to activate dormant potentials in everyone they encounter. This is how the consciousness shift spreads, not through convincing people intellectually, but through direct transmission of expanded awareness. From those who have developed it to those who are ready to receive it, you become a living bridge between the old paradigm of separation and fear and the new paradigm of unity and love. The returned souls emphasize that this isn't about becoming special or superior to others. Everyone is on their own perfect timeline for awakening. Your role is simply to embody the highest truth you understand and allow that energy to serve others in whatever way feels natural. The ultimate revelation about what happens after death will leave you with a completely new understanding of why you're alive. Death reveals that life isn't a test you can pass or fail. It's an opportunity for your soul to experience itself in physical form. Every experience, whether you judge it as positive or negative, contributes to your soul's growth and understanding. There are no mistakes, only experiences that deepen your capacity for love, wisdom, and compassion. When you understand this truth, you stop living in fear of death and start living in appreciation of life. You realize that your time here is precious not because it's limited, but because it's a rare opportunity for your eternal soul to learn and grow through physical experience. The returned souls want you to know that death is not something to fear or avoid, but something to understand and prepare for consciously. When you live with awareness of your soul's immortality, you make different choices. You prioritize love over achievement, connection over accumulation, and service over self. But is that all? What else can be revealed about the soul's journey beyond the initial transition? What do the returned souls tell us about the different realms of existence and the vast cosmic purpose behind individual life experiences? Find out in the next videos. The knowledge I'm sharing with you comes from years of research, thousands of documented cases, and personal experiences that have shown me the true nature of consciousness and death. If this information has touched something deep inside you, if you feel that recognition of truth that comes from your soul rather than your mind, please consider leaving a super thanks. This financial help allows me to continue bringing you these incredible revelations and stories that mainstream sources won't share. Your support helps this channel reach further, touching more lives with these transformative truths that humanity desperately needs to understand right now. Remember, you didn't find this video by accident. Your soul guided you here because you're ready for this knowledge, ready to step into your role as a conscious participant in humanity's greatest transformation. The question isn't whether these things are true. The question is what you're going to do with this knowledge now that you have it.